Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. In this video, I will be talking about the pros and cons in a home daycare. Everything I will be speaking on, it will definitely come from experience. So, what I will say, it all starts here. Once you have this together, you can make it in the childcare industry. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Let's get started. Action. Okay, so you guys will be seeing me looking down. Of course, I have to have my notes because I had to really think on this to try to not miss anything. But I have a lot of important pros and cons. So I'm going to dive right in. We're going to start off with the pros. First, flexibility. You set your hours and can create a schedule that works for you and your family. Now, even though you can operate from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. Now, remember, it takes up your entire day. What time do you have for your family? Now, I want to say this. You can be licensed from 6 a.m. to midnight, but that does not, I'm going to repeat, that does not mean you have to operate all of those hours. You want to be licensed for those hours, I should say. And say, for example, you want to wait till you get an assistant. You want to just operate from 6A to 6P. That's totally fine. It's your business. You do what you want. Also, if you want your mornings free, you can be licensed from 6P to 6A. That's if you want to do overnight. Technically, a lot of providers really don't want to do overnight. I will not do overnight on the sake of it's just overnight and I don't want to be up at night. I want to be asleep. I don't want to feel like I'm discombobulated, and I don't want to be up all night with daycare kids, and in the morning I'm asleep with my own family. So no. So yes, pro flexibility. Let's move to the next one. Lower overhead costs. See, opening from home eliminates the need to rent or purchase a separate facility because basically you're only paying rent, which actually lowers overhead costs. You're just paying your rent, utility bills. You're not worrying about trying to, say for example, if you're renting about like $2,000 or whatever, and then you get a building, you're probably paying like $3,000, $4,000, who knows, whatever the cost may be. But yes, lower overhead costs. You really want to think about that. Budget is everything. I'm here to tell you that. Next, more family time. Running a daycare from home allows you to spend more time with your children. Only if you are not operating all day long. I did that. But me operating all day long, it did not work like that. But by me eliminating some hours, you can have more time for your family. And it feels amazing. And your family will appreciate that, and they will not feel neglected or left out. Next, comfortable environment. You're working in a familiar and comfortable setting, your home. So you don't have to try to get used to this, trying to figure out how to find out things because, of course, it is your home. Next, smaller group sizes. Home daycares typically have fewer children, allowing for more personalized attention. So it's more kind of like easier by having a smaller group. You know, the more children it is, the challenging it can get because you will have some children who try to really reach out for attention based on how much attention they get at home. Or if one child can see the next child getting attention and they're going to try to jump in front of the other child. So yes. And plus, you know, kids, they learn from each other. Next one is tax benefits. So home daycares, you can be eligible for various tax deductions, including like the portion of your home, expenses, utilities, You know, when you're driving, the mileage, your phone. You have a lot of benefits with your home daycare you can write off. That's actually one of the parts that I love. Next, control over curriculum and activities. So you can choose your own curriculum. You don't follow nobody. It's your business. So you can do your own preschool program. That's what I do, my own preschool program. You can decide if you want to do preschool graduations, however you want to set it up. I did do a video on how I did my preschool graduation, if you think about it, if you're thinking about it. So I will link that in the description below. But that's like one of my favorite parts, how you can set up everything yourself. If you want to do like a before and after school program, it's your business, your choice. Next, potential for higher profit margins. Without the overhead cost of renting a facility, you may keep more of your earnings. But let me say this. You can keep more of your earnings, but when you know you're trying to save, that way you can keep more of your earnings. Being fresh into it, you can be somewhere. I've done this. You can be somewhere and be like, oh my God, that is so cute. That's so cute. I get to my classroom. This is my classroom. And you're constantly spending. So let me say, a budget is everything. But yes, you can have more money to yourself, but without a budget, you're gonna spend it. Next, establish relationships with families. A home setting can foster closer, long-term relationships with the children and their family. Now, some families you will find yourself being close to. You just have a bond. Even when the child leaves your daycare, you can still have a bond with them. And on top of that, like I have some happy little souls that I'm still close to, and their moms. And the great thing about it, I had them at like 9, like one of them, she was like 9 years old. And right now she's 19. She's in the Navy. So the relationship that I have with her and her mom, like the family is like unmatched. Just like family. Like I say, once I have a little soul, forever I have a little soul. It's just something that you will just, they will show so much appreciation, and they'd be so thankful that they will not let you forget. Even though you're doing it from your heart and you love what you do, you will just have some families will let you know, and they're not going to forget about you. Not just that, what about the children? They're definitely not going to forget about you. They call my phone, and the relationship that I have built with some of my parents, and we became as family, I love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Next, lower commute costs. Working from home saves on communicating time and transportation costs. You don't have to worry about trying to get up, trying to make it to work, being late, or nothing. You just get on up, get yourself together, and go to your door. Also, you're not really trying to drive nowhere, and then, you know, when the weather comes, when it's raining, you don't have to leave, especially winter. Winter is crazy, especially in Chicago. But you don't have to worry about none of that. Everybody comes to you. Next is flexible child enrollment options. So you can choose to offer part-time, full-time, drop-in care, depending on what works best for your schedule. You got to do what's best for you. You don't want to overwork yourself. You don't want to take on too much. You know, just see what you can deal with. See the ages you prefer to work with, and that's how you can go from there. Because here in Chicago, full-time is anything over 5 hours. Anything up under 5 hours is part-time. Kind of crazy how they have that, because even if you have a child for 5 hours and 12 hours, the pay's still the same. But that's just how they got their system, you know. But yeah, so like I offer full-time. It's just that full-time works best for me, plus full-time is really needed. So I just prefer full-time. My preference, that's what I love. So like I said, it's up to you. You got to do what's best for you. Next is natural play environment. Your home may provide a more natural, home-like environment that can comfort children. But the thing is that even though it's my home, I set it up like a classroom. So it really don't give a home feeling on how I set up mine. Some providers like to keep their couch, they keep their TV in their living room. Me, I don't like TV at all with the children. I don't want a couch. It's like, I really don't want to feel like extra comfortable. You know, I want it to feel like what it is. It's a business. I don't want to mix it. If I'm working, okay, I feel like I'm working. Which it don't feel like working when you're doing something that you love. But like I said, if I'm working, I'm working. I want to be, once I'm done, I'm done. I don't want a couch where I get comfortable. No. But it's up to you. Next is more control over your work environment. So we're talking about like your setup, safety, atmosphere of your workspace, creating a unique, personalized environment. So you set it up how you want to set it up. I always say it's great when you can set it up where you can like separate the ages. A lot of parents like that when you separate the ages. I like the ages separated because, say for example, you got like a 6-year-old brother and a 3-year-old sister. The age gap, a lot of times siblings don't get along. I separate them. You put the school age over here, you put the preschoolers there, you put the infants there. It's just the way how you just set up your area, whichever way you like. Or what if you want just infants and toddlers and preschoolers? Set it all up, whatever best for them. Now we're going to go over the cons. Okay, first, blurring of personal and professional boundaries. Yes, it can be very hard to separate your work life from your home life, which leads to burnout. I've done this so many times. It's like I'm trying to get everything done, and I'm like, no, I gotta do this. You will burn yourself out. You have to make sure that whatever time that you got going on for your daycare is just specifically that. And you make sure that you have time for yourself. Otherwise, you will be burnt out. It can get really hard trying to figure out how to balance the two. But once you find balance, you will be fine. Next is limited space. The size of your home may restrict the number of children you can care for. The bigger the space, the more children. Some use like the basement, like I have my basement. My basement, I was licensed where I can have like 12 children in the morning. I talked about this on one of my other videos, but the guy came, he did my window, messed my window up, failed the inspection for the emergency window. So my licensor let me know that I had to do the living room now. Time was running out. I would never do business with this man again. I would not refer it to anybody, okay? So I had to give up my living room. It took me 2 months to digest this now. And I went from 11 in the morning to 7. So because of the size of the house, which made my capacity drop. Yeah. Next, licensing and regulations. There may be strict licensing requirements, regulations, and inspections depend on your location. So, but your license rep will let you know everything that needs to be done. Like for example, if you don't have a gate, you will have to write a hazard plan about loose dogs and whatever the case may be, whatever they're asking for. Next, noise and mess. Having a daycare in your home can create noise, clutter, wear and tear on your living space. Now, the noise part, since my daycare in my living room now, like everybody lives upstairs, all my kids upstairs. Well, my son, my oldest, his room is in the basement. But say, for example, I have a kid coming in at 6 a.m. My kids are asleep. My kids are homeschooled. So if they're coming in at 6 a.m. and they're hollering, it breaks my kids' sleep. But the great thing about it, I don't have none coming in hollering, but it definitely happened before. Clutter, trying to always clean this. This is like too much because you're trying to figure out how you want to set it up. So I've learned to declutter. A lot of things you can have in your home you really don't need. You can see that you're not even really working with everything that you have. So I basically try to have things that's really needed, especially when you're teaching. Next, lack of social interaction. Running home daycare can feel isolated, and you're often working alone without adult workers. You know what? Now let me say something. Feeling isolated, it's like when I used to operate from 6 a.m. all the way to midnight, I would feel like I'm suffocated. So when the children leave, me even stepping on the porch to give the child to their parent, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh my God, I need this air. I don't even care if it was snowing outside. It felt good because I'm in all day long. So you definitely can feel isolated. It can get overwhelming, especially if you put too much on yourself. So even going out to just taking a ride to the store, whatever, you would need to kind of like have that break. Otherwise, you would definitely feel isolated, because I did. Next con, inconsistent income. Your income can definitely fluctuate based on the ratio of your children. So you might have 10 kids in the month of February, and then you got 4 left. So now you're down to 6 kids. So now your income dropped, and you're trying to work on getting more kids. So the income can definitely fluctuate. The next, legal liability. Operating from your home may require specific insurance coverage. So like you have your rental insurance, you will need insurance for on the daycare children also, just in case, if any accidents or injuries occur. The next con, limited expansion potential. Home daycares are often limited in terms of the number of children you can care for, capping potential income. Next, wear and tear on your home. Increase use of your home can lead to additional repairs and maintenance costs. What I can say, it was not a lot of wear and tear on really neither the homes I've been in. It's just the door. The door will be loose because it's constantly opening and closing. I try to make sure that I don't have to pay for anything. And also, I have in my handbook when it comes to damage of the home, so parents can see that. Next, difficulty taking time off. It can be challenging to find a substitute to care for the children if you need time off for illness, appointments, or vacations. So this is when I say when you need a handbook in place, you got to make sure you do not neglect yourself. You got to make sure you take care of yourself, because if you're not together, how are you going to run a business? Some parents, they will get mad if you have to close. But you got to remember, you can't please everybody. I'm going to say it again. You cannot please everybody. And I always explain, you're not going to get what you can get out of a center. They have way more people. You're in the home. So it's limited, very limited. I've known providers who were feeling bad if they have to close. Yes, you don't want to close your business because parents have to work. But what about you? What about you? Because something happened to you, what is that parent going to do? They're going to go find another childcare provider to care for their children while you trying to get yourself together, because while you neglected yourself. Next, marketing and enrollment. Finding clients and maintaining full enrollment can take the time, effort, and marketing skills. I have a video about that also that can show you how to increase your enrollment less than 30 days. It's everything that I have done when it comes to marketing. You want to get out there. But I can say the power of social media is everything. Now, this is like a few things I wanted to just add in myself. When operating, it will actually help. Operating, you can be licensed for 7 days, but I will always say Monday through Friday, have your weekends to yourself. For you, your family, it's like, are you going to give all your time away? What about for you? If you have kids, they're not going to like it at all. You give your business a lot, but don't give it everything of you. Make sure you save some of that energy and time for yourself. Being closed on federal holidays, it will give you extra days. I'm not going to lie. Just like Monday is Labor Day, it give me a 3-day weekend. That extra day going to come in handy because I'm going to be working on things that I can do. Because you got the whole day to yourself. So being closed on all federal holidays, it can definitely help. You'll be surprised what big of a difference one day can make for you by being closed and having an extra day for yourself. I want to say separate lines. You want to have your phone, your personal phone, and your business phone. Also, because I don't like the text messages like that. Like I will have parents that will call back, oh, I text you. This phone do not receive text messages because you will have some parents constantly texting you. They don't care what time of day it is, what time of night it is. They'll be texting. It's like all conversation is through text. Me, I'm verbal. So I will have where they have to call the business line. So like I'm saying, when you're closed, you're closed. So you can put that phone away and you can go on about your day because you done did what you had to do already. You done care for the children. Everything is good. Now you're working on you and your family. So it's basically separating yourself from your business. So yes, you want to make sure that you do that. Now, I hope this video inspires somebody, helps somebody. Like I always say, you got this, okay? I'm your cheerleader. You got this. If you got any questions, drop it down below. If you got any special requests, put it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And like I say, be blessed. Don't stress. See you in my next video. Bye.